basic bacterial staining. This is what you're going to do when you first come in here. You're going to get your Petri dish or your plate from the incubator. You're going to have it on your desk. You're going to remove the parafilm. You're going to open it up, and you're going to take a sample from quadrant 2 first. You're going to go quadrant 2, 3, and 4. It is significant that you do not get too much bacteria. So you barely touch the loop into the bacteria. Then you close the Petri dish. You're going to come up to the station, put a very small drop of water, and you're going to tap the water with your inoculating loop to where it turns kind of cloudy, which means there is plenty of bacteria. Then you are going to throw the loop away in the trash. You are now ready to come to this Bunsen burner. You're going to need some crucible tongs. And the tongs will be back here on the staining station, which is back here. You're going to get your tongs. And this is one of the toughest parts to know how long to leave it on the flame. If you have really long hair, tie your hair back. And you're going to move this back and forth in this motion through the flame. If you let it sit on the flame too long, it's going to crack the slide. I like the little U motion, like dee-dee-dee-dee, like that. You're actually leaving it on there long enough for the water to dry up. So what you're doing is you're killing the bacteria. In the meantime, you are actually fixing it to the slide. Until all your water is gone, it is not ready to stain. And this is just your basic bacteria staining. We're just going to do one stain this time, just to identify the bacteria. And see, I put a very small amount of water, and it's taking a while to dry. The smaller the water, the smaller amount of water, the better. So, once it starts drying, it dries really rapidly. But it has to completely dry. You cannot see any liquid on the slide at all. And it's drying. If you move it back and forth quickly, that will tend to dry a little more quickly because the air will dry it too. Now, almost. Can you see it? Do you see how it's drying? Okay, that's the most important step. Not really, but as far as staining goes, that's one of the most important. Okay, and you'll see it kind of get cloudy. The center's still a little bit wet. We want it to be totally dry. And I probably put too much bacteria on this too. Drying, dry. Okay, there you go. All right, if you can see the slide now, you can see how it's cloudy and dry. Tip number 1, the slide is hot. So do not touch the slide with your hand. Now that you've killed the bacteria, we're going to come over here to the staining stations, which are in the back of the room. You are going to place your slide onto the tray. Voila. You are going to take crystal violet. You're going to put a drop of crystal violet onto the slide. Let it sit there for about, I would say, 30 seconds or so. You may want to move it a little bit. Now you can probably touch it. Move it around just a little bit to cover the whole slide. After about 30 seconds, and I'm not counting to 30, but, do the 30-second thing, like 1 Mississippi, 2, you know what I'm saying. Then you are going to give it a water bath. This is the coolest little thing in the world. This will give it a really clever water bath. So you are going to bathe it. That's probably enough. And then after you do that, you are going to blot it. Don't rub it or you might rub your bacteria off. You're going to blot it, and then actually you are ready to look at it under the microscope. So there you go. It doesn't look like there's very much on here, but there actually is. So it should have a little bit of a purple residue. That is your basic one-step staining.